to what extent is a person suffering from a mental illness required to fulfill halachic obligations?
With regards to this question of halachic obligations and mental illness, we need to distinguish between three categories. The first category are such people as are considered by competent medical practitioners to be insane or severely mentally retarded. Such people are referred to in classical halachic sources as a shotay. A shotay is someone who has no ability to understand and comprehend what is required, why it is required. He is not capable of functioning in a normative manner at all. This can come about for many reasons. There are many types of mental illness and cognitive deficiency. Such a person who is completely incapable of being responsible and functional in the usual sense is entirely exempt from all halachic obligations. And with regards to this, there can be and never has been any discussion. This is the classic definition of the shoteh, who is patur min miswot, who is not required to perform any miswah or not required to follow any halacha. This does not mean, of course, that we should allow such a person, for example, if it is within our power to prevent him, we should not allow such a person to eat forbidden foods according to the Torah and the like, if it's within our power to do something about this. But in terms of requiring such a person to perform this or that miswah, it goes without saying that such a person is entirely exempt. The second category are people who suffer from some form of mental illness. Again, there are many forms of such issues, such mental diseases. They range from severe depression, which may be a constant state of affairs for a given person or for a very lengthy period of time at any rate. And it may also be bouts of depression that come and go. This could refer to people with various types of bipolar problems and many other issues that are known today to medical science. Such a person very often goes through different periods. Sometimes such a person is capable of performing whatever miswah he may be required to do without any real difficulty, and on other occasions that same person might well be quite incapable of doing something of that nature. For example, a person suffering from bouts of depression, when in the throes of such a bout of serious depression, a person cannot be expected to behave in a normative fashion, halachically speaking. A very common issue, which I have been asked about on more than one occasion, is the question of davening, of praying. If a person is severely depressed, he will not have any real ability to pray and to focus on his prayers, and therefore it should not be demanded of him during such a time. When he is able to become more functional, when that bout of depression is behind him, then he is, of course, at that point in time required to perform all the miswot like any other Jew. There are also people, this is a third category, who suffer from various psychological issues and difficulties, who are often very prone to stress. And the very fact that they know that they are required to do certain things, again, a good example is praying, davening, which is something which is to be done on a daily basis, more than once a day, at a specific time. This fact of being required to do something at a specific time, that very fact alone, especially if it is a very onerous task, or it seems so to them, can cause them a very great stress, and in fact can cause them to lose control of their behavior. They can go berserk, they can become quite hysterical, they may throw objects at other people. It might be family members, it might be anyone in the vicinity. Such people, again, if they are quite incapable of praying, shall we say, in a normative fashion, they are exempt from doing so. But what is more usually the case is someone who, if told that he may, for example, pray once a day instead of 3 times a day, and instead of praying for 40 minutes in the morning, what he needs to do in the morning will take him exactly 8 minutes or 10 minutes, but not more, that approach is very often successful with such people. Such people may often feel that I can manage 10 minutes, I can put on tefillin, I can say Kriyat Shema with the Barachot, and maybe the Shmoneh Esrei, or a shortened version of the Shmoneh Esrei, like Havinenu. But they really couldn't do more than that without becoming very negatively affected by this requirement to do something at this moment in time. Such a person should be told by competent halachic authorities that he should do whatever he is capable of doing without pushing himself over the edge. And that is the essential message here for this third category, which is really the most the one that requires the most introspection and deliberation in order to arrive at the proper solution for this person. A person who is in a kind of borderline situation, who can be easily pushed over the edge by certain kinds of activities of a certain length, of a certain frequency, such a person needs to be given an halachic option which is less demanding from his particular subjective perspective. And this is the way I believe we need to deal with such issues. And there are many people who would be much more capable of fulfilling many halachic obligations if this kind of approach was explained to them.
Thank you, Rabbi Bar-Hayim. We would like to encourage our viewers to share these videos with friends and send in your responses. We would also like to suggest the following opportunity to our viewers. If you identify with Rabbi Bar-Hayim's message and would like to sponsor or dedicate a video interview with the rabbi in honor or memory of a loved one, if you would like to obtain Birkon Nusach Eretz Yisrael or invite the rabbi for a speaking engagement, please email us at office@machonshilo.org.